Yes, welcome everyone. Hello, my name is Jason Gorenstein, and this is our daily integrative wellness practice. Very nice to see everyone here. As always, incredible to have you here, Gail and Dan as well. So, thank you guys so much for joining us for this Tuesday afternoon class. I was thinking, um, man, we're already 3 months into this whole thing, and just, an idea of just kind of reattuning ourselves back to compassion. It's so easy to get wrapped up in all the hysteria going on, and it's really important to find some time to just sit back and connect and really allow this time to kind of move forward. So, if you guys are into any essential oils, I'll be using an essential oil myself today. I'm going to be using lemon oil. And if you don't have any essential oils, that's fine. I think, Gail, you were saying you may have some. So if there's anything you like to use, you may want to use it right now. Dan, you might be interested. Sometimes, as long as the smell is a smell you like, it can be good to use. So I really like lemon. But also lavender can be a good smell. Peppermint can be a good smell. There's so many different essential oils. Oh, Madonna. Okay, welcome to class. So if you tune in, Gail Madonna is a student I have been practicing with also for some time. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So perfect. Yes, if you have an essential oil, please feel free to use the essential oil, any type of essential oil that you may have, and that's often a great way to come into practice. So, especially if you have a difficult time with meditation or with yoga in general, starting with an essential oil, I don't know, there's just something about it. So, we're going to start out seated today, and you could start on your mat. I'm going to find my way back to my mat. And, as always, guys, if there's any specific practices you like, always feel free to include them in the chat. I was just sharing that another student of mine who I practice with a ton over the years is also managed to join in. So it's kind of nice. We're slowly growing the community up and, making it our little tribe, our little online tribe. So as you feel ready, if you do have an essential oil, just take that to the nose and breathe that in and just observe that smell. And if you don't, what I would like you to do instead is just close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. And this is a technique, it's called meditation. Some of you may be familiar. Oh my God, and look, I was never one for these essential oils, I'm telling you, never. And more recently, once I got into them, they're phenomenal. The smells are great. So I oftentimes use these when I work with people, whether it's at class or in other places, or sometimes private students. I will utilize these essential oils. So if you have any interest in essential oils or you just want to know more, let me know. If you need assistance with accessing them, let me know, and I can see if I can get you guys some essential oils. So just breathe in that essential oil one more time, and even if your eyes are closed, just begin to move the body around. Oh, I am so sorry. I forgot to make it full screen. That's what you were saying. This happens periodically as I get uber excited with teaching, and then I forget, I don't realize what actually people are saying. So, all right, now here I am full screen. So yes, we will begin our practice right now. So as you feel ready, come into a seated position and just begin to breathe in that essential oil if you have one. And if you don't have an essential oil, just begin to move the spine around. If we do or we don't, it doesn't matter. We're going to still move this spine around. And I'd like you to just focus on kind of this aspect of reattuning, reconnecting yourself back with your root, back with the earth, back with the ground. And as you continue to move in these circles right here, just continuing to breathe and allowing yourself to revolve, or rather move the body around in these circles. So as we move in these circles, continuing to breathe here, continuing to feel into that breath and that awareness, if you will, and then eventually moving in the opposite circles. Now, if you have the essential oil, and it doesn't matter which one, whatever one suits you today, you can breathe that in and just notice that smell. I'm telling you, there's something about these oils, they do something. So then as you feel ready, you're going to take your fingers to an interlaced position. You're going to press your palms forward in front of you. And as you inhale, raise your arms up towards the ceiling here. Keep lifting up through those fingers. And as you exhale, rounding fully through the spine. Good. And as you inhale, lift those arms up, reach up through those fingers. And as you exhale, rounding deeply through the spine. And as you inhale, floating those fingers on up, lifting up through the chest, heart, and sternum. Good, and as you exhale here, you're going to take your left arm, place it over to your left side. Right hand comes to the top of the head, and just look towards that elbow. So, guys, I corrected the mirror imaging, so I think I shared that with you yesterday. So now we should be all squared away. Now I'm doing the class exactly as you guys. And then as you take the right hand to the right, or your hand to the right, you'll take your hand over the top of the head and just look up towards that left elbow. And I think that that's important because when I kept rewatching these videos, I kept saying, it's so confusing. How do I do this? And it's like everything is in reverse. So now at least everything is in the proper manner. As you take your left hand over to the left, it only takes me 3 months to learn something. But hey, that's okay. So as you place your hand on top of the head, look up towards that elbow and just begin to look up towards the ceiling here. And breathe here. And then once again, looking over and releasing over to the other side. Continuing to breathe, continue to expand. And then we're going to find our way back to center here. If you still have that essential oil, breathe that in. And then as you feel ready, you're going to come onto your hands and your knees. So my wonderful students, Dan, Gail, Madonna, anybody else who's joining us, we could have people from around the world, who knows. As you feel ready here, inhale, peeling up the chest and the heart. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine. And as you inhale, peeling up through that chest and the heart, breathing in. And as you exhale, rounding through your spine. And inhale, peeling through the chest, heart, and sternum. And as you tuck the toes underneath, press down through the fingers, float the thighs on back. Downward facing dog. So as you take downward facing dog here, spreading across the fingers. And just continuing to breathe here. See that the fingers are spread wide apart. See that the eyes are closed. Just begin to allow that breath to be long and slow here. So as we attune ourselves back to our breathing, this is a great opportunity for us to just stretch through those hands and stretch through those feet. And oftentimes we're stretching so that we can begin to reconnect ourselves back to our body. You know, growing up I had pretty bad ADD, so I needed to do a lot of physical activity. So now the stretching is kind of like a way of dealing with that. And then as you walk the hands back to the feet, you'll take the hands towards the shins and inhale, lift the chest on up. And as you exhale, just hinge those hips and fold all the way down towards the mat here. So take your right thumb and place it into your left elbow crease. Take your left thumb, place it into your right elbow crease. Just let the body release down towards the mat here. So the weight shifts forward from the heels to the toes. And as you continue to breathe here, just start to sway the body from side to side. And then eventually you'll take your hands to the low back. You'll press down through the feet. As you inhale, peel up the chest. Find your way up to standing. And spread your fingers out wide apart here. So just begin to move those fingers, wiggling the fingers around. You move back and forth with the feet. And this is just a really nice way of beginning to become aware of our feet. You know, in yoga, a lot of our practice has to do with just an awareness of the body, awareness of the breath, awareness of the body. As you inhale here, float your arms up and above your head. Raise those fingers all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, hinge the body forward and release the hands all the way down to the mat. As you inhale here, take your hands to your shins, lengthen your chest on forward. And as you exhale here, release the torso all the way down. As you inhale, swim the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face one another. And as you exhale, glide the fingers out to your sides. Inhale, float those arms up, look up towards the fingers. Exhale, hinging at the hips and folding all the way forward here. Take the hands to the shins. Inhale, lengthen through the chest here. Good, guys. As you exhale, release and fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face one another. Maybe the palms touch. As you exhale, bring the hands back to the sides. Do that one more time. So inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, folding down to the mat. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling, raising the fingers on up. Exhale, bringing those hands back to the sides. And now I'm going to have you rock the hands forwards and backwards just like this a few times. So we've done this many times before. This is a Tai Chi practice. So it's one of the very preliminary Tai Chi practices. When you do Tai Chi, just interestingly enough, when you do Tai Chi, there's a whole warm-up. And this is a practice that warms us up. So we move the arms forwards and backwards here, and just continue to move those arms forwards and backwards here. And then eventually you just begin to play with the knees, so bending the knees and straightening the legs. And this is really a way of kind of releasing any tension in those knees, in those hips, in the backs of the legs. So you can do this action right here. This is the exercise that we do to help to release that tension in the body. And then as you feel ready, start to kind of ground yourself once again. And now you're going to sway side to side. You take the arms and just sway from side to side. And I demonstrated this with you guys before. You're going to shift all your weight onto the other leg. So you're going to bend the knee and shift all your weight onto that one leg. And then you're going to shift onto the other leg. So the idea here is that we bring circulation not only into the knees, also into the ankles, also into the feet. Continuing to breathe here. Good. And as you feel ready here, interlace the fingers at your center chest. Press your palms forward in front of you. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. As you raise the palms up towards the ceiling here, spread across the fingers. Allow the arms to drift over towards your left side. Good. And as you inhale here, find your way back to center and allow your arms to drift over to your right side. Very nice, yogis. Inhale back to center. One more time over to the left. And back to center. And one more time over to the right. And back to center. So this is more like our Urban Zen practice. And then just start to sway those arms forwards and backwards once again, just to kind of find your way into your feet, find your way into the body, and one more time, just start to sway the arms from side to side here. So just swaying the body from side to side. Good. All right. So from here, you'll take your right foot forward. You'll let your left leg come back. You'll bend into that right knee. And we've done this many times before. This is like the wave. So as you feel ready, you're going to push the air forward in front of you. And then you're going to draw back and bring the hands on down. You're going to take the hands forward and up. You're going to push the hands forward in front of you. And then you're going to draw the hands as if you're raking leaves and place the hands on down. Inhale, draw the hands on up. Press the palms forward. Inhale, draw the hands back to center, draw the hands on down. So these actions or these exercises were actually taught as a martial art. they're a form that was taught like a way of meditating for those of us who are interested in meditating, or for those of us who have been deep into meditation. These are some of those practices that help us with that. So turn your foot in, turn your feet to the other side, and then once again, we're going to move on to this side now. So it starts out with just pressing the hands forward, and then you're going to rake the air back and release the hands on down. You're going to inhale, draw the arms up, press the arms forward in front of you. Inhale, rake those hands back. Exhale, release those hands down. So inhale, draw the arms up, push on forward. Inhale, drawing back and raking on down. 2 more times. So these actions that we're doing, they're very simple. I know other people might find it weird or whatever, maybe not in this group, but it's kind of exercises that help us to just release tension and anxiety in the body. It's not very complicated. So sometimes when we're sitting at a desk for long periods of time, we can take these exercises, and it helps to kind of relax the body, it helps to relax the mind, and just make us to feel good. So take your left hand, place it on top of your head, draw your left ear towards your left shoulder here, just stretching out the neck muscles. Good, and then coming back to center, and you're going to take the other side. So take your right hand, place it on top of the head, and just draw that right ear down towards the shoulder here. And inhale back on up. Good. Okay, so from here, this exercise continues onward. So this is one for anxiety or tension. If ever you feel anxious or tension, you're going to make these little fists with your hands. So you don't even have to clasp your hands together. You could just like leave space in between them and just gently just push forward that air and come back to center. And it's kind of like, it's just getting rid of anxiety or tension in the body. If you don't feel like making a fist, you can make like a hand. So this is a more defensive position right here, where you're just blocking the energy. This is a more offensive position where you're kind of pushing the energy out. So for a moment here, why don't you guys do this action right here as I do this action, all right? And we'll switch off. So I'm going to do this a few more times here. You guys are just following my lead. Good, and then you guys make blockers, and then now I do this action just to kind of block any anxiety or any tension that may be coming in. And that's really our practice of yoga in general. We're working towards kind of blocking any of our own anxieties, any of our own tensions or sensations whatsoever. So as you inhale, raise those arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, glide the hands all the way down towards the mat. Take the hands to the shins. Inhale, peel up halfway here. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, raise the arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening through those fingers. As you exhale, glide the hands back down into your sides. So inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, release all the way. Inhale, sweep those arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe the fingers touch. Exhale, bringing the hands back to the sides. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come to the sides. Good. And then just start to sway the body once again, just like we did before. We're swaying the arms. So we're going to come back to some of these Tai Chi practices. This is another one. So you have your hands, like they're like fans, like a fan. You know, like you go like this, and then you fan your face. It's a way of cooling yourself. So they're like fans. And then what you do is you take yourself, you bring your weight into your right foot, you step your left foot out to the left, you bring your arms out like those fan arms. Draw the arms back in, step yourself back to center, and we do the other side. So I pivot on the right ball of the foot. Then I step the right foot out. Now I take the arms and open them up. Then I bring the legs back, and now I step the feet back together. So we shift the weight over to the right. I spin onto the left ball of the foot. Then I draw the leg to a bent position. I step that leg on out. Then let's do the blockade method this time. Block and then punch, and then open the arms all the way up. Come back to center here. So like I said, it stems from a martial art. We're going to do the other side. So you block here, and then you use your hand as a defense, open up, and then back into center. And even today, these practices are still practiced in jiu-jitsu and martial arts. It's the, not jiu-jitsu, but the Muay Thai. So some of these actions that we're doing right now, they're the foundation or pillars of Muay Thai practice. So you step out, and then you use your hand. So you have a guard up for your face. And then you come back to center, and you do the same to the other side. You push the hand forward, you push forward, then you draw back. Draw the hands back to center. And one more time to the other side. Step forward, back, and back to center. Very nice. So we'll take our hands to our hips, and this is some just gentle movement of the pelvis. Pelvis, especially if you guys have been sitting, oftentimes gets rather tight. And just moving the pelvis around in these very small circles here. This is a great way of refocusing our attention back into our feet. And then you're going to take the legs and begin to shift them to the other way. Good. And then as you feel ready to here, you're going to take your hands, you're going to glide your hands all the way down your legs. And then you're going to interlace your forearms once again here. And just release that head on down. This is a great way of creating length in the body, stretching out those back muscles as you breathe here. Continuing to breathe. Continuing to release the body on down. And then you'll take the knees to a bend. You'll take the hands to the hips. You'll inhale, press your way on up. And as you step the feet back together, you're just going to glide the arms forwards and backwards one more time. So nice little way of just kind of moving circulation through those hands, moving some circulation through those legs as you begin to alternate your shifting of your weight from left into right and vice versa here, vice versa. So just moving that weight from side to side. And then you can begin to sway with your legs again. So we've already done this a few times today. And as you guys know, these actions, they can be repetitive, but when we repeat the actions over time, we tend to find that we're able to maybe be a little bit more deep within them. As you repeat your actions over and over again, you can become a little bit more connected. And then step the feet together. So now take the arms out to the sides, take Tadasana pose. This is called Tadasana pose, mountain standing pose. And you're going to take your right hand and reach it up, and you're going to imagine that you're grabbing an apple from a tree and drawing that apple on down. And you're going to do the same thing with your left. Or maybe a lemon. In California, we have lots of lemons. We have apples too. We actually have a lot of different fruits here. Maybe it's a mango that you're taking from a tree. Or maybe it's a pear or a plum. And you're just drawing that down. And believe it or not, these are lateral stretches for the body. So we're still getting into these aspects of working the lats, working the muscles along the back of the spine, as well as the muscles along the side ribs. That's it. All right. And then from here, as you come back to center, inhale, float the arms out to the sides. Come back to center here. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Come back to center. Inhale, open the arms out to the sides. Draw them back to center. Inhale, raise the arms up and over the head. And drawing back to center. Inhale, floating the arms open. And coming back to center. Inhale, raising the arms up. And drawing back to center. One more time. Inhale, opening the arms up. And coming back to center. Inhale, raising the arms up. And finding your way back to center. Good. So from here, let's take our feet into a little bit wider of a stance, maybe 3 feet apart this time. Just begin to release the head down towards the mat. Let the hands release. Close the eyes and breathe here. So a nice little long stretch you could take here is just taking your hands and bring your hands onto your right shin. And when you bring your hands onto your right shin, it's just a really nice way to stretch out the right side of the body. Spread across the toes. Breathe here as you close the eyes.
And back to center. Take your hands to the other side, other leg. And release that head on down. And close the eyes. And breathe here. And then back to center again. And as you bend those knees, take the hands to the low back here. Inhale, peel up the chest and step the feet towards one another. Good. So as you come back to center here, let's take the hands to the top of the head, just like this, and place the palms on the head. And then just rock the elbows over to one side. Breathe into the chest, breathe into the heart, breathe into the sternum here. And as you feel ready, climb your way back to center and over to the other side. See that you're drawing that left elbow up this time. Breathe in as you draw those hips in. Back to center. And again, left elbow releases down, right elbow lifts on up. Back to center. And right elbow releases down and left elbow releases on up. Good, back to center. All right, so from here, we're going to just begin to turn the chest again. So turn the chest over to the right side. Just breathe here for 3 breaths. As you feel ready, come back to center and turn over towards the opposite side. So if you need to here, it's okay to open up the feet. If you need to, like by turning the feet slightly out, that's fine. And back to center. We're going to do that one more time. So turn out to the right this time. As you feel ready, take the hands to the hips. Bend slightly into that right knee. Back to center here. Good. Bend into the left knee. Turn your feet back to center. Now take your left leg, draw it on out. So the hands are at the hips this time. Bend into that left knee. You don't have to bend that much. You know, I've done a lot of Tai Chi practice, not in a long time in a serious way, but for a while I did a lot. And a lot of times you just bend the knee slightly is fine, as long as you feel like the weight is traveling forward. Straighten across that leg and back to center here. Good. Step the feet back together here. And one more time, just start to sway the body from side to side. So guys, for those of you who know where this is going, we're starting to approach our class on the ground or on the mat. So as you feel ready, you're going to find your way onto your mat, and we're going to begin our practice here. Now, if you still have that essential oil, you may want to... it still smells good. All right. Spread across the fingers. Breathing in here, lifting up through the chest, heart, and the sternum. And as you exhale, rounding across the spine. Good. As you inhale, lift through the chest, heart, and sternum. So lift up that chest, heart, and sternum. And as you exhale, rounding across and through the spine. And once again, inhale here, peeling that chest on up, lifting the heart, chest, and sternum. And as you exhale, rounding deeply into that spine. So as you inhale forward again, take your right leg, extend your right leg back behind you, and just spread across your fingers here. Release the head down and breathe. So see that the fingers are spread wide apart. Continue to press through that right ball of the foot and release the head down. And then as you exhale, you'll release the right knee down. You'll inhale, float the left leg back. As you float the left leg back, it's identical here. You're spreading across the fingers. You're firming in the outer triceps here. You're breathing into those legs. And again, you'll lower that left knee down. Good. So from here, let's come onto our forearms. We're going to do exactly the same exercise. Just on our forearms, it's a little bit more stable, if you will. You're going to take your right leg on back again, and you're just going to breathe here. You can lower the head down towards the mat. You could even look towards that right foot. So see that the wrist, interlaced fingers are pressing down, forearms, head. And then you'll bring that knee on back, and then you'll do the same with the left side. So take that left leg on back and breathe here. Continue to press back through that left heel. Continue to see that that left inner leg is lifting. Press down through the wrist, forearm, and the fingers. And drawing that knee back and down. Good. So now as you press down through the fingers here, inhale, peeling that chest on up. And as you exhale, rounding the spine. And inhale, peeling the chest on up. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling the chest on up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling the chest on up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Very good. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do, and if you have blocks, grab hold of your blocks. You're going to step your right leg forward in front of you, just like this. Step that right leg forward in front of you. And as you continue to breathe here, just bend into that right knee and lift the chest on up. So continue to breathe here, lengthen through the left side of the body, lengthen through the chest, and breathe. Draw those shoulder blades back and down the spine. And then as you feel ready, you're going to take that knee, you're going to bring it on back, and then you're going to flip legs. You're going to take the left leg and do exactly the same. Press through the left ball of the foot. See that that left knee is bent. And breathe here. Excellent. Okay. So from here, let's come back. So if you don't have blocks, it's okay. You can just take your hands down to the mat just like this. But eventually, we're going to walk our hands inside of our leg just like this and release the head on down. So if you have blocks, you could keep your hands on the blocks. If you don't, just release your head on down. This is called inner groin stretch. Helps to stretch out the inner groin muscles as you firm the right outer knee towards the right tricep. And then you'll take your hands to these blocks and you'll draw that right knee on back and you'll do the same thing to the other side. So you can always take your hands and place them either on blocks or just inside that leg and release the head on down. This is a great stretch. This is a really nice stretch across the back, across the spine. And just release on down and breathe here. And then as you lift on up, lift on up, lift on up. Now, take that left knee back. Take the right leg out to the right side. And then as you breathe here, take your right hand to the right hip and just begin to turn the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep lifting the chest, heart, and sternum. So if you don't have a block, you can obviously place your left hand down on the mat. Maybe come up on those fingertips here. And then lift the right arm up. Just a really nice long stretch across the body. That's what we're going for here. Keep lifting that chest up. Maybe even release that right hand back behind you even more. So the right hand's almost even in line with the right chest. Behind you, it's in line with the right shoulder. Inhale, draw that arm on up. Take the hands to the blocks. Draw the right knee in. Take the left leg on out. Good. As you take the left leg on out, let's start here. Left hand on left hip, and then just spin the chest up towards the ceiling. You can start there. Eventually, you're going to lift that left arm up. And maybe even float that left arm back behind you. It's a really nice way to open up the chest and the shoulders. Don't overly do it though, as long as it feels good in your body. Do what feels good, as they say. If it doesn't feel good, then, don't do it. And then place your left hand down, right? But sometimes, some of the poses, you got to hold them and then they feel good. So as you feel ready, take your right hand on top of your right knee, or your right arm on top of your right knee, and then just raise the arms up towards the ceiling here. So turn the chest towards me. Just raise those arms up towards the ceiling. Be here for a moment. Really nice stretch. And then as you feel ready, take the hands down to the blocks. Place the blocks on either side of this leg, and then spin your left knee over towards the right side. So now you're facing this right leg. Now just walk your right leg forward any amount. You can keep your hands on the blocks. You could straighten your right leg. It doesn't matter. And then just breathe here. Breathe into that right leg. If you need a cushion, place a cushion underneath your left leg. Place a cushion underneath your left leg. And then take your block, place your block right underneath your shoulder and your chest. Lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. You could even take the right hand and place it on the low back and look up over that right shoulder. Nice little twist here. Good. And then bending that knee and coming back to neutral, we're going to take the other side. So again, extending across that left leg, walking the hands forward on those blocks, releasing the head on down. And continuing to breathe here. Draw the left hip back, draw the right hip forward. Beautiful, guys. And then as you'd like, you can place your left hand on the left hip here. You may even decide to lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Just be very careful here. Go slow. You don't have to, if you feel like you're kind of locking out or you're moving a little bit too quickly, you can just go slowly here. And release that hand on down. Bend into that left knee. Be here for a moment and then release the left knee on down. Very good. Okay, so from here, what we're going to begin to do is we're going to come into a seated position again. So we're taking like a little pause here, as sometimes we do in this class. And if you have your essential oil tissue thingy-mabobber, you can place that by your nose. All right. And then you're going to bring your feet together and the knees apart. So as you continue to breathe here, release the head on down. And then lift the chest on up. And then once again, dive on deep forward. So this is just a way of holding our poses. So it's very important to hold our poses, because when you hold the pose, other parts of the body can relax. If you don't hold the pose, then your body will never be able to relax. So it's a way of relaxing the various parts of the body. That's why we hold our poses. And then from here, take the legs wide apart and be here for a moment. So, as the legs come wide apart, take the left hand, bring it in forward in front of you. Take the right hand, bring it back behind you, and just a simple twist here. So, this is a great stretch as well because it helps to open up the outer left hip flexor and the top of the left thigh. So, as we twist here, you're just lifting the chest, you're lifting the heart. See that the weight is even in both sit bones. So the sit bones or the sitting bones are right at the base of the pelvis. They allow for us to sit. That's why they're called sitting bones. And turn the chest. And then you're going to come back to center and take the other side. And release the head down. And then from here, as you feel ready to breathe, take the legs and extend the legs forward in front of you, just like this. Legs are extended forward in front of you. And then taking the right knee, bringing it into a bent position like this, and taking your block and placing it under your right knee. Now, take your hands and bring them to either side of that left leg and release the head on down. And then lifting on up, right leg comes back in, left knee bends, left leg releases out, and again. And then lift the chest on up. Take your left leg on parallel and forward fold. So as you forward fold here, lengthen through the chest, lengthen through the heart, lengthen through the sternum. Maybe take hold of your feet. Keep lengthening through the chest. Keep breathing here. Maybe eventually releasing the head on down. It's not important if you grab hold of your legs or not, just that you're folding forward and you're breathing. If you find a good stretch, just stay there. Be in that stretch. And hold it. And as you inhale, lift on up. Good. So from here, we're going to find our way onto our backs. So finally, we've made it onto our backs. And as you feel ready, hug those knees into the chest. You're going to take the right knee and hug the right knee into the chest now. You're going to let the right knee sickle out towards the right elbow and draw the right knee back in the center. Let the right knee draw out rather towards the right shoulder and back to center. One more time, right knee moves out to the right, breathing in here and back to center. Release the right foot down, hug the left knee into the chest here. Left knee moves on out to the left. And left knee draws back to center. Left knee moves out to the left. Left knee draws back into center. Left knee out to the left. And back into center. And release the left foot on down. Right knee draws in, take the right foot, cross it over the top of the thigh. And as you press the right thigh away from you, just begin to breathe here. And then draw the left knee into the chest and take the right foot over the top of the left thigh. And breathe here. And allow this space for the silence to arise. In the yoga class, typically the last 5 to 10 minutes of the class is designed so that there can be a lot of relaxation and restfulness. That's the whole point, because we work out for a good duration and then now it's okay to relax. Taking the left foot down to the mat, bending both knees, bringing both knees over towards the right, turning the head towards the left. And if you haven't already, the other side, please. Release the knees. And then guys, as you come back to center, if you want to hug the knees into the chest one more time, this is the final part of the class. Release the feet on down. You can take the hands under the buttocks, move the buttocks away. You know, if you need to take a back bend here, we didn't do really any back bends today. Roll the shoulders under, lift the pelvis up, just if you need to take one. If you don't, that's fine. You could just release the legs all the way forward. If you want to take a back bend, take a nice back bend here. It's good for the heart, it's good for the chest, good for the lungs. So you exhale, lower the pelvis on down. Take the left leg on forward, take the right leg on forward. And release the pelvis. Palms face the ceiling here as you breathe. And just continue to keep your eyes closed here. This is called Shavasana. I'm going to recite a chant for you. This is a chant that I learned from one of my teachers as you continue to rest here. And taking your Shavasana right now. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sita Aham Adishacha Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Antaha Evaha Cha. And it falls into Nijayate Mriyate Valkadajinayam Bhutvaha Bhavita Vana Bhuya. Na Hanyate Hanyamane Sharire Cha. So the first chant says, I am the self who is always awake and resides in the hearts of all beings. I am the creator, the sustainer, the destroyer. I am the self. That's the first one. The second one is that which cannot be burnt, that which cannot be wetted, that which cannot be dried or set to fire. This true essence of yourself is eternal. That is the self. And as you feel ready, taking a hand, placing it on the heart, and placing another hand on the belly. And you're going to bring those knees to a bent position. You can set an affirmation for yourself: kindness, well-being, love, gratitude. Roll onto your side. As you feel ready, you'll press your way on up to a gentle seated position. So if you have that essential oil, you may decide to use that smell once again. Eventually, we will take our hands into the center chest. And for today's class, why not? Let's close with an Om. So as you feel ready, taking a deep breath in. And release the chin towards the chest. Palms come to the tops of the thighs, palms face up, gently lifting the head and softly opening the eyes. Namaste, yogis. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed this class with Jason Gorenstein. This is this is Integrative Wellness. That's the title of the class. It happens every weekday at 3 o'clock, so feel free to join in as many times as you'd like. And we're always here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the practice. As I usually close the class out. So our next class is tomorrow, not the 23rd, the 24th. I did update it, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I updated the first one, but not the second one. The 24th. So tomorrow we will meet Wednesday the 24th at 3 p.m. And hopefully you guys can join us then. Oh, thank you so much, Madonna. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Very nice to see you. Gail and Dan, as always, it's a pleasure. Hopefully you guys had a very nice class today. If ever anybody has any special requests for classes, you can always let me know. I'm happy to take requests for any type of specific practices. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. As I usually close my class with, be well, be happy. Namaste. Thanks, guys. All right, we'll see each other very, very soon. See you guys. Bye.